This is a 2013 Hot Springs Grande hot tub. Handles about 7 people. And it did us very well for many years, but now it has started having problems. And as you can guess, because it has no water in it, we did have a big problem. So recently it developed a leak in the heating element right down here and was spurting water in a nice flow out into here, and then drains through the little vents here onto the ground. And that's when I noticed it. By the time I noticed it, we were already 6 inches down inside the tub. So they've made some huge adjustments in their newer hot tubs now over the years, and this was a bit of a disaster tub for them. We had the extra ACE system in this one, which produced chlorine from salt, and that was pretty cool theory, but they marketed it in such a way that you didn't have to add chlorine, which we found out pretty quickly was very rough to do on this little device here. This thing, if you were to buy it, is over $700 if you needed a replacement. So it would go into the overflow here, and then the filters sit on top of that, and then it would create chlorine. But it had trouble doing that and had trouble keeping up. So the best way to do it was to just add the chlorine yourself and let that thing just stabilize and hold the hot tub at a certain level, and not depend on that all the time to make chlorine. So they had so many complaints about that they have switched it, and they switched it in the year after we bought this. So that was kind of sucky timing on our part, but it's what, 2020 now, so this thing has lasted some years. We do have a new cover on it. We had a hailstorm over the winter, and it destroyed our old one, so we got a new one put on. And unfortunately, the hot tub has now given up. It's had so many problems now that we're going to go get a new one. We replaced this pump here. That went and had a leak, a crack in the housing, so we got a new one. And then in the process of putting this one in, there's a custom piece that kind of looked like this from back in the day. And obviously you can't buy this. This is something that you make. And we broke that nipple putting it back onto here because it was so brittle after years of use, and you just couldn't find something. So we made a piece, and it works fine. As you can see, this is all different tubing here compared to that, which is fine. It worked well, but that took us down for about 6 weeks because they shipped us out the wrong pump. Our pump, the one they sent us, didn't have the ground on the back, so we had to return that pump and get this one that has the ground. See all the grounds here, and there's one here, one here. They go up into the box here so you don't get shocked. So this pump did get replaced, but it was under warranty. These things are about $1,300, so if they go bad, look out, they're expensive. But this one was replaced under warranty. The one in the back is not pumping out to its full capacity anymore. Probably the impellers are all jammed up from, years of chemicals and stuff inside the tub, even though we keep it super duper clean. But yeah, this bad boy is on its way out. The new hot tubs are so much better because they're all composite made. So you can see this piece of wood down here at the bottom goes all the way around, and our hot tub stays outside. on an unprotected deck. So it's to the elements, you know, the elements have at it every day. So another sore subject are these filters, and they say that they last 5 years, and maybe they do, but we have found that they do not last 5 years because they crack. So can you see this crack right here? And when they crack, this stuff breaks away and goes into your tub and can go through the pumps. So that's not good. So we've replaced these quite a bit over the years. So 5 years you're not getting out of these. That's it's a bunch of baloney from the factory. But it is time for this thing to go away. We got about $2,000 on a trade-in, and we're going to drop to a this is a 7-man. We're going to drop to a 5-man. We don't need something this big anymore. So it's on order, and it'll be here in about a month. Due to the virus, they're not making them in full production. They're getting back in the swing of everything now. And then the stool, or this steps going in over the years, is starting to fall apart. There's actually a hole there. So it'll be nice to get rid of that with nice brand new steps, new staircase, so to speak, to get into the tub. So that's that. Grande will be getting out of here, and a newer, more modern one will be coming in. Alrighty everybody, welcome back to another video. This is our brand new HotSpring Envoy Spa, and let's first off go over a little bit about pricing on these things. So they start off around $18,500. We got a discount of $25.99 on it, because I guess we're repeat customers. We did go with the Mocha with a walnut color, and the chocolate cover. Chocolate. And then we got the Highlife step in coca to match, and then we got a bunch of chemicals to go along with it. But for the old hot tub, they were really nice, and they gave us $2,000 for that. So they came and picked that up. So that was very nice. So those are a little bit about the pricings on these hot tubs. So let's get this thing opened and have a look at the seating arrangement for what we chose. Alright, with the lid up, let's have a look on the inside. So the pattern for the inside that we chose was like a captain's chair there, and has really nice jets for your wrists. So anybody who's got a sore wrist from fishing or actually working all day, that's very nice. Plus goes up and down your back with many jets coming out there. We also have a water feature, which is right here, and you can control the velocity on which that comes out with this knob right here. Now this one comes with a lounge chair, which starts there for your feet, for your calves, and then your back here. That's very nice. And then we have the big light for underwater right there. Now over here, it's just a quick seat. We also use it to step into the hot tub. The last hot tub we had, we got in on that side where the controller was. On this one, we come in on this side, because that is slippery right there, and you don't want to fall in and hurt yourself. Now this chair here is probably my favorite. You have the jets on the sides and on your back that go up and down. It's really nice. If you want to sit up a little bit more, there's another one right there. That one's very very good for just upright position. This one's a little bit deeper, so you are farther underwater. Now over on the front, you do have controls for your jets and your lighting system. Normally you would have your remote control sitting here charging, but we have it actually sitting over here because I want to demonstrate that you can actually have your remote. They have a little cutout there for you, so that's nice. So if we run the jets, so jet position number 1 runs the water feature and the chair right there where you come in, and also the captain's chair back there. Now we are out in the daylight, so demonstrating the lights probably wouldn't be that great because you're not going to see them. But there are side lights, which we didn't have on our last one. So it's got perimeter lighting, that's really cool. All these light up. And then the water fountain also lights up. So then under here, we have our filters. We have 5 filters sitting in there. And the one that's in the first position, we rotate that one frequently because that handles the pump that's always on, and that'll get the dirtiest the quickest. So if we hit jets again, we'll go to step number 2. So the first pump, the pump at full power, and then we're going to go to again, should bring up all the jets in both systems. We're going to go rubber duckies. Fortunately, the rubber duckies go right into the overflow. Alright, so underneath here is your salt system. I'm sorry, your chlorine system. Now this is a salt tank. So we have the ACE system on here, which is HotSpring's chlorine generator. Can't unscrew this right now because the pump is on. You actually have to shut the pump off to be able to get into here. This thing lasts for about 4 months, they say. We don't use our hot tub constantly like some families would with their children and stuff. So ours has actually lasted very long, and that's good because they are very, very expensive. A 3-pack is like well over $200, like $300. So the longer you can make that last, the better. So I'm not sure if you can see. Probably not. So this is the remote control. It has all your lighting and your lighting and your jet control. Plus it has your ACE system on there and your temperature settings, and it'll also look at for summertime use, so that the temperature doesn't get super hot. You can actually turn off the thermostat on the inside, so that's very useful. And then that'll sit here and charge. Since it's fully charged, we don't need to have it sitting there. Alright, so let me get the lid closed and we'll discuss what chemicals we use to maintain this hot tub. Alright everybody, we're back with all of our chemicals. So let's go over everything. So when we first got our hot tub, we were given one of these and said you had to put them in to handle your calcium and make sure your calcium is at the perfect level. Now with our city water, the calcium is already perfect out of the tap. So this was a huge waste of money. But for people that live in different parts of the country or the world, You want to make sure that your calcium is at the proper levels, or you'll have problems with the inside the hot tub. So that will sit in there for some time. It's like a big bean bag, and it absorbs calcium. And then when you get down to the proper amount, you just pull it out and throw it away. So that will probably never get used. Too bad we can't return it. So then you're going to need spa salt. I'm sorry. If you're running the ACE system. If you're not using salt and you're just running bromine, then you don't need this. But a bag will last a very long time. Now we've dropped down from a 7-man hot tub to a 5. So the maintenance is way better, and this hot tub is more advanced than our last one. So you only do water changes once every year, whereas on our last one we did it every 6 months. So this could last a very long time. Plus there's less water in this tub than our 7-man tub had. So once you get the salt in the proper amount, you want to run a test strip and make sure that you're in the parts per million that they recommend. Alright, so then on a fresh start or a change, you want to shock with chlorine. So look at your hot tub and see how much you require and put that amount in. After that is circulated around for 10 to 20 minutes, run a strip and make sure that you are in the proper zone for chlorine. Our experience in the past is never to treat the pH, the alkaline. Always treat the chlorine. Once the chlorine gets in balance, the rest of the hot tub falls into balance too. So don't get caught up treating individual stuff, just the chlorine. So then you also want to run oxidizer. That helps the chlorine get around in the hot tub, and it also cleans. So after like heavy use, after the family's been in the hot tub, dump some of that in there, and that'll clean the water. So on our first hot tub, we didn't know anything about, and the increaser, the alkalinity increaser, we do not need this. They sold this to us, and us not knowing what we needed, we've had this probably for 7-8 years. We don't need alkalinity increase ever. So, but some parts of the country you will need that to treat your water. So, but we don't. Our water from the city is fine. So the pH decreaser we do use, and we also use it to clean. So how we clean our ACE system is that you put some pH decreaser in here to clean the ACE solenoid or whatever this thing is that they use. We'll go over that in a minute. So next is our filter cleaner. So one of these goes in a 5-gallon bucket. So when you're cleaning your filters, depending on use, if you want to clean your filters every 3 or 4 months, it's kind of like a good one, good time frame to make sure that your filters are staying optimal. So right here we have a filter, and what we do is we put this all in there, fill it up with water, and then we'll put this in there and soak it for 5 to 10 minutes. And we got to do that times 5. So if you just want to clean your filters, this stuff works great. So you're going to spray this on your filters, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then use your hose to clean the filter. And these are the refills. So you can just get the refill and fill up your spray, so you don't have to keep buying the spray cans. Now, as I said before, when you get these cartridges, every month or so, if you want to pull it out of the hot tub. Now obviously this is the demo that comes with a hot tub. This is not for the salt system. This is probably for the bromine or demo, used to plug up so that the water doesn't drain when the pump's on. But we do have the salt system in ours, so we do use cartridges. So what you want to do is you want to take some pH decreaser, put it in here, put this in, let that sit for 8 to 10 minutes. And then what you want to do is scrub the cartridge. You'll see the metal hanging off the bottom of this. This is just like a short version, it's a plug. But on the real one, it has two metal things coming down, and you want to clean those. And you can literally get weeks and weeks extra on your cartridges. And at $300 for 3 of them, that's very important to let the life of your hot tub go. I mean, your cartridges go a little bit longer. So if we go into our salt system, we can look here. I don't know if you can see that dial in the sunlight, but you see how it's straight up and down? That means that the cartridge is still good. Once it starts coming around over here to the side, then we're going to start thinking about replacing it. And to replace it, you would press this button here, and it'll turn the pump in the hot tub off, and then you are able to pull out the cartridge and replace it. So the other buttons here is, this is a 3-use. If you have a lot of kids in the hot tub, or the hot tub gets a lot of use, you might want to bump that up a little higher. For us, 3 is just fine. And if we have chlorine issues, we'll just bump oxidizer, because this is so much cheaper than the cartridge. I just rather put some chlorine in there. Okay, so then if we hit the A system again, if you want to use the cartridge to boost, and you got a party going on, you can hit this button here, and that's the party mode. That's why it's got a little rocket, and it'll boost the system for 24 hours, and then it'll go back to normal. But you can burn your cartridge on that, so be careful. Alright, so here are the cartridges. Here's the replacement. There's three in here. This should last us like 2 years. On the initial hot tub buy, you get $100 off of these, so that was nice. Alright, now the last thing we want to discuss is how to keep the top nice. Alright, because this is outside in nature, and nature can be very mean to these tops. So here is UV Protectorant that they recommend putting on for vinyl, rubber, plastic, looking newer and longer. And they recommend every 3 to 5 weeks to put this on. And you can't do it in sunlight. You got to do it when it's evening or dark. But it should keep the top nice and soft. And these things are sort of expensive, so you want to keep the lid looking new for as long as possible. Our last one did dry out, and then we did have hail one winter, and you could literally see where the hail hit the top of the hot tub lid, and it cracked, and then we had to replace it. So keep your lid looking nice. Now also, if you get one of these, just a little tip, I used a clear silicone on all the screws, because these will rust and they start looking bad, and I learned that off of our last hot tub. So don't be afraid to put some silicone on the back of these screws, because they might say that they're stainless steel, but over time they will rust. Alright, and the last thing I want to cover, this hot tub is so much nicer than our last one, and the maintenance is so much easier. We're very pleased with it. But the one thing that's very annoying is these stairs are very expensive. And the side piece is so paper thin. And this is our second set of stairs. And this one has cracked too. So I use some Gorilla Tape to patch up the cracks as best I can. I'm not sure that they're going to replace it again. I wish I could just send out the side piece, and then you could put it on yourself, but they actually replaced the whole step, which is very expensive. These things are like $250 to $300. So that's a shame. Anyway, we're very happy with this hot tub, and if you're looking into buying one, here are some of the tips that I hope you've enjoyed some of our tips and learning how to maintain one. If if you have any questions, post them in the comments below, and we'll do our best to get back to you.